Hey guys, welcome back for another video from TDL DIY. So we just recently did our brake job on the 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. We did the front and the rear, two separate videos. Now we're on to bleeding the brakes. So the first step we're gonna do, we pulled the car into the garage. We got our quick jacks this time to make it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. I just wanted to show you with the brake job that you can do it with just a normal car jack. Now, I did use some power tools. You can use it, all hand tools, just whatever you have, you guys can do it. I know you can. Anyways, so first step, got the quick jacks out, as you can see. We're gonna lift the vehicle up, take tires off, and then we'll get to bleeding brakes. Remove the wheels. Alright guys, so right here is the bleed valve. It's got a little rubber cap on it. There. Alright guys, so part of this brake job, there's a couple different ways to do it. One with two-person method and single-person method, and in this case we're going to do a two-person method. I find I like it personally a lot better myself. I can have communication with the driver, which is the person pushing the brake pedal down, and I can open and close the little Schrader valve for the brakes to bleed them. So I prefer that method. You could choose whatever method you would like. I personally like that one, and that's the way I've always done it. So I'm going to show you guys some of the tools that you're going to need for the 2017 Nissan Pathfinder, and yeah, we'll get to it. All right, so pretty much for any brake job, this is what you're going to need. I use a Gatorade bottle or any type of container. I put a little, you can make this yourself, just put a little vent hole there, and then a hole big enough for your tube. Just make sure your tube can fit onto the Schrader valve, which I'm going to double test to make sure that it's no problem. Then at the end of it, so up in the front, we're going to need a 10mm wrench. In the rear, we have 8mm. And then this is a kind of a really shitty diagram, but hopefully it'll explain what we're going to be doing here. So this is roughly where the brake master cylinder is on the car, so it's on the driver's side. We're going to start the furthest away from that, and that's going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And that's how we're going to bleed the brakes, in that order. And then yeah, so basically I think all I'm going to show you is one. I might show you like a rear and a front just to show you the difference, but there's no real difference. All it is just a different wrench size, which I've already just explained to you right there. But basically, once you've done one, it's the same steps for every single one. Now keep in mind, in between, you're gonna wanna have to check your brake master cylinder periodically so you don't run out of brake fluid. That's the worst thing that could happen, because then you're introducing air into the line. We don't want that to happen, and if you do, you just have to pretty much do the process a little longer until all the air is gone. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. If you're not comfortable with this, by all means, go and take it to a mechanic. That's exactly what mechanics do, and that's what, you know, you'd have to feel comfortable, because if you do introduce air into the line, it's a big safety thing, and your brakes cannot work as well as they would normally, and could cause an accident, or you maybe not be able to stop as soon as you should have. So just keep that in mind. If you don't feel comfortable, just take it to a mechanic. They know what they're doing. They're trained to do that. But if you feel comfortable doing it, by all means, it's not a very hard process. Just keep in mind with the air bubbles. And that's why I like the two-person way of bleeding brakes, because then I can actually see in the line, I can actually see in the line if there's any air bubbles, and I can see them kick out. But if you do a one-person method, you can't see that. So that's personally why I like doing the two-person method. There's another method, I think it's called a vacuum, and basically I think it sucks the brake fluid out of your rear brakes, which I would like to actually try sometime because that seems super interesting, and it'll be a one-person job too. So if you got that tool, if you got that, or if you've ever done that before, let me know. Leave it down in the comments below. Tell me the methods you guys have used so that we can pass it on to other people to give them many other options. And I want to know about your experiences. Was it easy? Was it hard? You know, let me know what method you used. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm not going to waste any more time, and it's pretty simple. Basically, all I'm going to get the driver to do is they're going to pump 3 or 4, maybe 5 times, pump a bit, and then I'm going to say hold, and they're going to hold, and they're just going to press gradually until pretty much the pedal hits the floor, and they're going to say holding, and then I'm going to say pump, and in between all that, I'm going to be opening and closing the valve to allow the brake fluid to go. So during the pumping, the valve's closed, and during the holding period, the valve's open, and then I'll open it for a couple seconds, close it real quick, and then continue that process until we bled all the old fluid out. All right, guys, so this is where the brake reservoir is. Just gonna take that off. So you can use your fingers if you want. I just got a little tool here. So you can use your fingers if you want, but I just got this little tool I think will work. And we're just gonna pull that little screen out, set it down on our cap. And essentially now we can pour some fluid in there. A lot of time I like to remove all that fluid and then just put new fluid in, but at this time it's pretty low already, so we'll add some more fluid in and continue on. All right, so we're using .3 brake fluid because that's what it requires. This is by Prestone. You can use pretty much whatever brand you'd like. So we're going to fill it right up, probably overfill a bit, and I don't have to check on it as frequently. So the person that's going to help me do this is going to be my wife, and basically we're going to flush this out, and we're just going to keep flushing. The first one's going to take the longest because I want to push all that dirty stuff out. Hopefully we get some clean stuff in, and then the rest of them should go fairly quickly. Get a wrench on because that's what we're going to need. Get our brake line fluid on, so it's going to catch our fluid. All right, so one thing we've noticed with the Pathfinder there is that we had to turn it in ACC. So basically, since we have the push button start, instead of starting your vehicle, push the button twice, and then it allows to have power and you have full brake pedal movement. Okay, so with that said, let's pump the brakes. Okay, hold. Hold. Okay. Okay, pump the brakes. Hold.
Hold.
Okay, pump the brakes. Hold.
Hold.
Pump the brakes. Hold.
Hold.
Pump the brakes.
Brake.
Hold.
Hold.
Pump the brakes. Hold.
Hold.
Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Pump brakes. Hold. Okay. I'm going to check on the brake fluid. All right, so basically that's the process. We're just going to keep going. You're going to go until the fluid changes color in the line. If you hold your bottle up a little bit higher, then the bubbles will go up to the bottle versus staying up around here, and that will just help, and you'll be able to see if there's any bubbles in your lines, any air in your lines. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing this a little bit more, and then we're gonna go to the next one. So pump. Okay, hold. Okay, pump. Hold. Up. Hold. Pump. Hold. Okay, pump. Hold. Okay, you got to pump. Okay, hold. Okay, pump. Okay, hold. Okay, I think we're good on this one. There we go. And then all we gotta do is put our cap on, and then that's it. All right, so now we're to the front passenger side. So it'd be number 3 on our diagram. We're just gonna take the rubber fitting off. Now we switch to our 10mm wrench. Ready? Take off. Take hold. Take off. Hold. That's good. Hold. 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 Take off. Hold. 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 Take off. Hold. 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 Okay, I'm going to check the brake fluid now. Okay, we're going to give a couple more of those. Pump. Okay, hold. Hold. Get up. Hold. Get up. Hold. Up. Hold. Up. Hold. Get up. Hold. Okay. Let go? Yep. All right, so our bottle is getting full, so it's time to empty it into another container. All right, guys, so we're all done. We're now filled up to the maximum brake level. It's nice and clear fluid, unlike before. It was a little, it's pretty dark actually. So everything looks good. All we got to do now is just put on our tires and bring the vehicle down, but that is a very simple process. And oh, this doesn't have an indication on it, but this is the brake fluid I used. And basically I used pretty much the whole thing. There's just a little tiny left. I like using just about the whole container. That way it just ensures that everything's all flushed out properly, everything's done, and I feel good about the brake job. Now, that being said, you know, there's probably mechanics out there that'll probably use half of that or 3/4 of that, and they'd be good, and they're confident in their ability. I like using pretty much all of it. That way I know I pretty much do, it's a little shy of a liter. It's 946 milliliters. So I think that's a quart. I basically use that every single time. That way I feel good about the process. The brake fluid's clean in the reservoir. The brake fluid looks clear coming out of the brakes. So that's a job well done for me. And if I didn't mention before, guys, I'm sorry, but in your brake fluid reservoir, like, look at how dirty that was. It's pretty dirty. And now it's mixed with some clear stuff and some old stuff. So that's probably why it's making it look dirty. The stuff in the line is obviously clear. So if you're gonna build this thing, just make sure to leave a little bit of brake fluid. Basically all that does is allows brake fluid to go through, but it won't suck up any air. As long as you keep your bottle up high enough, then all this should be nice and full. And when you go to push your brake, you're gonna open your valve and it'll slowly go down your brake pedal, and then you're gonna close your valve and that should just be pushing fluid all the way through. And then if by chance you get all the way to the floor and you didn't close in time, it'll suck up brake fluid versus sucking up air. So that's the whole idea behind this. Very easy. It's not really a hard process if you think about it, but it can be a little finicky, and if you're unsure, like I said, just take it to a mechanic. But that's how you do a brake flush on a 2017 Nissan Pathfinder, and it's more or less the same for a lot of other vehicles, except, here's the exception. There's some new vehicles that will need to be hooked up to a computer to actually do the brake flush. In this case, we didn't need to do that, but there are some cars out there that are some vehicles that will need to be hooked up to a computer to actuate the brake flush. Now, anyways, thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below of your experiences. Never stop learning.